All right, as we stand right now, we're 11, 12, maybe 10 days away from WrestleMania as you're listening. And I just can't help it, but I got to do a solo mission here. Soldiers to Shoot, Captain of Chaos. Here we go.
Soldiers of Shoot.
All right, what's up, everybody? Once again, Captain of Chaos, the Captain of Swag, the Captain of Cool, Daddy Cool AC. I'm back, baby. We're talking, we're going to talk a little WrestleMania build stuff here. We'll do a little Raw, a little Smackdown. We're not going to go through the whole shows because Stames and Edwards, DJ Stames and Hollywood Edwards did a Raw review that is up on the YouTube channel that you all should check out because it was tremendous. And if you're fanboy status, if you are out there thinking that this is exciting and something to look forward to, you might be a little disappointed. But if you're watching this product and you're happy with it, we can't help you. None of us can help you. Nobody I know can help you. The own WWE Universe can't help you. And this is the reason why I'm saying this is if you look at their own Twitter feed and the responses to their posts on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, to say they're disconnected would be an understatement. An understatement. But we're going to get into all that. Before we get there, I got to get to a little business here, if you will. We got to have a little fun. We've been having a lot of fun with the network stuff lately. And I just want to clarify a few things just so we're all on the same page. And I know me and Hollywood are on the same page because we're always on the same page. Even if we're slightly off the page, we're kind of on the same pame. So, I brought up this Wolfpack thing, and partly it wasn't even only to break Stames and Edwards' balls with the feng shui and the put it in the comments and the shots fired. Because obviously there's some friendly fire, as I heard Stames say, coming our way. And I gotta be honest, I thought my little flesh wounds were bad. I mean, the poor Electric City Saint, the Steve Town Stunner with an A, not an R, who you know is in bed recovering from Ebola. He's sunny at the toll booth compared to what I got. Man, Edwards shredded him. Oh boy, it was hilarious. Bobby, we love you. Yeah, the Electric City Saint, we love you. It's all good fun. I'm not even trying to justify for him. If you want to whip his ass, I mean, I'll be the referee. But I made this Wolfpack comment, and I was actually kind of calling out my own boys with that one. Because I would love to have this little Wolfpack faction of the Soldiers of Shoot, which me and my friends have our little, we have our little group. We've referred to each other as the Wolfpack before. But trying to get D. Smitty and Conda on a podcast or on a YouTube channel show or on whatever the hell I do, it's like trying to get, you know, the former Kingdom members who used to run to come on Cool Down with AC until they signed with ROH, and now, you know, they're too big. But that's a story for another day. Woo! Shots fired, baby. Well, feng shui. we're taking shots at everybody. No, in all seriousness, let's get to the matters at hand here. We're gonna leave the leg slaps out, and I wonder if Alistair didn't wrestle tonight because his legs are bruised. Oh man, is it not brutal? You want to know what really ticks me off about the whole Alistair Black Ricochet thing is I'm one of these guys that is out there defending NXT and defending these, you know, indie type guys and these guys that work that style, and then you do this and oh God, it's indefensible. It's why I'd like you guys, if you're so inclined and you're out there, listen to my Northeast Wrestling review from this past weekend, where I broke down a match between Wrecking Ball Legursky and Cold Steel Chuck O'Neal. And it was everything but that. It's everything I think wrestling should be today. It's what I think Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns should be. I'm 100% serious with you. And I agree with Stames. That's one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most. And I am one of the biggest Roman Reigns fans you'll ever see. But I think there's an opportunity here for Drew McIntyre to become a monster player in WWE. And let's face it, we all know they're not going to do it, but the opportunity's there. I could tell you how, but I'm still waiting for my my contract. Which is never coming. I mean, let's face it. Especially after I get done with this show. They'll probably get me banned from Spreaker and YouTube and whatever other platform, iTunes, whatever else. Oh, modeling on me. Oh, boy. Where do we start? Do we start with the Kofi? Let's start with the Kofi. Because I think the other conversation is probably the more important one. The one about the women. And let's face it, I have a female, I have a daughter, I have a child who's female. I'm an advocate for women. I'm an advocate, listen, feminism. Yeah, in the definition of the word, absolutely. We'll get there. Anyway. Oh, God. If I get through that one without sounding like Joe White, I want a round of applause. Put it in the comments. I love you. I really do. Oh man, I might be off Soldiers of Shoot before the show's over, and we're all happy today. We're tweeting and loving each other, and I'm just gonna. Oh boy, I'll tell you. I obviously have not been a fan of this Kofi Mania business. Not because I don't want Kofi to have his moment, and not because I don't want Kofi to wrestle Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship, which is like the fourth title now, which is ridiculous, but that's a story for another day. I've wanted this, and Edward said something on the show last night that matters, and I might not be using the same terminology, but it's the same point. How you get there matters. You might get to the point we all want, but how you get there does matter. And that's where they've lost it. That's where they've lost it. That's where they've lost to me. Yes, I'll admit it. We're going to get there with Kofi. He's going to get the match. I don't know if he's going to win. I don't know if he's going to lose. And I'll be honest with you, once he gets in the match, I don't even care if he wins or loses. Because they're not going to do anything even remotely entertaining with either one of these two guys, Daniel Bryan or Kofi Kingston, coming out of it anyway. So whoever wins the match is irrelevant. It's how you get there. They're going to get there. And it should be the main event, and it's not going to be, but it should be. And I'll tell you why it should be. Look at their own goddamn Twitter feed, like I said earlier. Look at their own Twitter feed. When they posted a poll on their Twitter feed of what should be the main event, and they listed off the matches. The women's match, Brock and Rollins, Randy Orton and who was it? Randy Orton and I can't even think. AJ Styles. And there was another match on there. It might have been Reigns and McIntyre. It might have been Shane and Miz. I can't even remember which one it was. It really doesn't matter, because if you read the tweets, 98% of them are Kofi Daniel Bryan, 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 Kofi Daniel Bryan. Your own poll is ridiculous. And here's why. And here's why how you get there matters. We all know now that you're getting there. But how you're getting there is beyond ridiculous at this point. Let's say this. if you're going to tell me that Vince McMahon hasn't lost something off his fastball, have you watched his segments lately? He sounds like a babbling idiot. And I'm not talking about he's booked that way. I'm talking about he can't even script himself properly anymore. Forget the opening segment. Forget that for a second. Well, pal, we're going to find out at WrestleMania if a B-plus player could win the WWE Championship. Well, okay, Vince. A B-plus player, according to your booking, already won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. The guy carrying the title was the B-plus player who already won the title at WrestleMania. So what are you saying? Well, last week, Kofi ran the gauntlet and I went out and screwed him. But now that I stuck 3 jobber tag teams in front of him. And hey, listen. I love Doc and Carl. I love Shinsuke. I love Rusev. I love all these guys as much as anybody else. But in the way this is being booked, they're a bunch of jobbers. A bunch of jobbers, okay? They're jobbers. They didn't get their releases so they can job for WrestleMania booking. Bad booking, by the way. But they're all, let's have 50 gauntlet matches and have all these guys job. That's why we can't release them. We didn't not release them because we want them to do big things for WWE. We didn't release them because we, A, don't want them going elsewhere, and B, we're going to job them out before WrestleMania. So you guys did yourselves all a favor by asking for releases. Because you got the Revival jobbing as champions on Raw to NXT guys who are now being obliterated by wrestling fans across the world. You have the former Bullet Club members, Doc and Carl, who they've done nothing with forever. Done nothing with them. Or the Luke and Carl in WWE. I keep forgetting the Luke thing. Done nothing with them forever. We're gonna job. Oh, Shinsuke, job. Rusev, Rusev Day. Rusev Day was hot last year. Job. That was good. Fantastic. Ask for your release. You know what they just said to the rest of the roster? Ask for your release. We'll put you on Raw. No problem. You want to go on Smackdown? Okay. There you go. Gauntlet match. What? So Vince, when these gauntlet matches last week, has to come out and screw Kofi because he wins. So now the New Day has a gauntlet match. Beats a bunch of jobbers. And let's face it, the bar's right there now too. Because the bar who squashed Kofi at the last pay-per-view jobbed to Kofi last week and now jobbed to the New Day this week. And then the Usos, who I love, and I love the Usos. Can you please give something big to the Usos for WrestleMania? I'm assuming it's Hardy's. And the Usos were over, and they did their job to put the thing over. And I honestly, this was probably the only part of the match I liked, I guess. I liked it because it fit the story. It was finally something that, even though I don't love this story, it fit the story. You know, okay, they want Kofi in the match, so we're gonna, under any other circumstances, I would be pissed that the Usos forfeited anything. But given this story, I can live with it. So then you have Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan come out after they, threw chairs and smashed TVs and in an aggressive maneuver in the locker room that really showed you how angry they really were, that they had to actually come out and end this gauntlet match. They actually lose in a countout. And now Vince McMahon he's in WrestleMania, but I hope a B-plus player could win. What? I mean, I would have had a better time with it if Vince was like, all right, and they won the gauntlet. So next week, Kofi, all right, pal, we're gonna have what have we done in a while? Oh, beat the clock challenge. Kofi's going to beat the clock. If you want to prove to me you're a B-pluser that goes for the title, you got to beat the clock. I mean, it still could happen. Don't get me wrong. It still could happen. Fumbling, bumbling, stumbling through this whole thing. The ratings are shit. And for all you people out there like, oh, it's not that bad. It's the road to WrestleMania. It's exciting. We have this great women's, first time ever, the women are going to main event. And we have Kofi Mania running wild. And actually, Kofi Mania is the only thing that's fucking over in the entire company. And they're stumbling, they're trying their hardest to do what I said they were going to do and fuck it up before WrestleMania. And don't tell me they can't, because they still have a week. And they moved in that direction pretty fast tonight, in my opinion. Okay? All right? Not saying they're not going to do the match. I'm just saying they could fuck it up still. The Miz has been all right. Oh, boy. Okay, so title versus title. Where are we going with this? So we're going to take a floundering, stumbling women's program that nobody... Let's face it. I mean, you could throw out all the headlines you want, and you could throw out all the social media posts you want, and you could put the three of them on ESPN all you want. But what you told us tonight, you have nothing to do with Asuka. You can't. They can't even figure out what to do with Asuka. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the title off her, make Charlotte Flair the first time ever 8-time women's title holder. I mean, listen, and that's record-breaking achievement. Congratulations, Charlotte. The title's been around for 2 years and you won it 8 times. I mean, standing ovation. You deserve it. Like I was like, you deserve it. This is awesome. Oh yeah. God, I wish I went to the Mohegan Sun to see that moment tonight. Why did I work my job? I should have been at Mohegan Sun to live that tremendous, groundbreaking achievement by Charlotte Flair. And I'm telling you, it added a lot to that main event. I mean, I'm head over heels. I can't wait for that main event now. So you mean to tell me they could win not 1 but 2 titles in that main event? Well, amazing. Oh. As bad as the booking is as bad as the way they're... You know, I've heard this terminology many times over the last few decades when you're talking about pro wrestling, especially in the WWE. John Cena's shoved down my throat. Roman Reigns is shoved down my throat. I use it. Finn Balor shoved down my throat because I have no use for Finn Balor. I don't. The Demon, I could care less. You know what? Put him in a fucking Rainbow Demon, because that's what they are now. That's what they are. This is the same thing they did last year by putting Finn Balor in a fucking rainbow and saying Balor clubs for everyone. And no, I'm not being a bigot. I'm not being a middle-aged white guy and MAGA hat and everything else. That's not what I'm talking about here. This is supposed to be entertainment. This is supposed to be pro wrestling. This is supposed to be a TV show that tells you a story. But they want to make political statements. And when Triple H is going to come out there before he loses a match to an envelope, which is fucking ridiculous too, by the way. And Edwards is 100% correct. Oh my God, it's getting edgy. Triple H said douchebag. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is the same company that had a live sex show in the middle of the ring. Edge had a live sex show. And there was a nip slip in that sex show, by the way. Trust me. I'm sure Bobby has the video. I love you. The Electric City Saint has the hookup. I'm delirious. Edwards and Staves were delirious last night, and now I'm delirious. This is what they do to you. They make you delirious. A live sex show to celebrate a championship, and calling somebody a douchebag is edgy. Edgy. Did you not watch The Shield? Did you not watch Sons of Anarchy? How many shows can we go on, and you're going to calling somebody a douchebag and fumbling with an envelope edgy? I'm going off the rails here. I'm really going off the rails. I just can't. I can't. But Triple H stands in the middle of the ring before he gets to all that other nonsense. And I was all for this match, Batista and him and Dave. I love the promo, Dave. I'm like, oh, it's personal. Terrible. I could care less. Put it on a pre-show. I wouldn't even watch. 7 hours. 7 stinking hours you want us to watch this garbage? We might be on hiatus till Double or Nothing after WrestleMania weekend, or like a couple weeks after. We might. I mean, what the fuck are we going to talk about when this is over? We're going to be repetitive and tell you how bad it sucks? Because let's face it, you're headed into the abyss. Oh, hey, listen, Vince is gonna buckle down now. He's worried about AEW. Is he really? The ratings are going down. I said this 4 years ago. This ratings are going down. Not even the Undertaker's going to be at StarCast. Not even going to be at WrestleMania. Oh, boy. So, I got to get to the point at hand. I'm off the rails. I'm sorry, guys. I'm off the rails. I just can't. I can't. Oh, boy. Anyway. Triple H talks about the women and congratulates them. He doesn't just congratulate Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Ronda Rousey. He congratulates all the women that have ever wrestled for WWE. You know, Lita, who was part of the live sex show. Congratulations, Lita. All the women that they mentioned last night who posed in Playboy. Congratulations. And all the ones who did porn before and after they were women. Congratulations. You got us to this point. But it's all about the wrestling now. The athletes. I mean, they're bringing in guys from Saturday Night Live to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This is the way you honor the traditions of the WWE. And listen, I know they've brought in celebrities forever, but it's the way they go about it now. Disgusting. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get to the point here. I mean, every time I try to get to the point, there's just something else that pops in my head that annoys the hell out of me. Anyway, Triple H is congratulating all the women. You know, even Asuka, who jobbed to Charlotte tonight. Let's congratulate the Riot Squad, who, you know, without the Riot Squad in this whole feud, who would have jobbed in all these matches? Mother God. So we're congratulating all the women for getting them to this point. And I'm not even going to go as far as to say women's wrestling doesn't sell. Like, and I'm not even going to say it's unfair, because I think in some ways it is fair. I think I go to enough live shows to see it in person that I don't know that the hardcore wrestling fan takes these women's matches as seriously as they'd like you to believe. And what I mean by that is they like the bra and panties stuff. They like the ass cheeks hanging out. They like the looks. I listen. When you can go, and that's people like that too. But I'm gonna say this: when Triple H comes out and spouts out this earned not given, I mean, really, is that really the case? I mean, Becky Lynch said on SmackDown that she's bringing the people. Okay, maybe before you tap the Asuka. And that's not Becky's fault, but let's face it happened. And I don't think Becky's as hot as she was even after tapping Asuka that night. And Ronda is bringing the title, but Charlotte's bringing nothing. But now Charlotte's bringing a title too. Well, I mean, listen, they pulled a fast one on us there, let me tell you. But anyway, my point with this whole matter is, let's look at reality here. Let's think about this for a second. Bayley and Sasha Banks main evented a couple takeovers, and they did the 30-minute Iron Women's match, which I picked as my match of the year in all of wrestling that year, which was tremendous. They earned the spot and performed, and it's what the people wanted to see at that time. Is that the case right now? I mean, I've already brought it up on this show. Go on their own social media. They post about this being the main event and the match that everybody wants. But if you put it in the comments. They did. Read the comments. Read the tweets. Kofi. That's all they want to talk about is Kofi. And I have an idea of what they're doing here. And I'm going to get to it in a second. We're not going to go off the rails. We're going to get to this because it's important. I really feel this is true. Part of the reason why this is the main event is because they brought in a global superstar who was made in a real sport, who was made in another company, who was presented better by another company called the UFC. The UFC, when they got their hands on Ronda Rousey and found out what they can do with Ronda Rousey, I'm not only talking about her winning the fights, the training montages, the way they sold her, the way they presented her. She had something to do with it. Can't take that away from her. But they made her a global star. And the WWE doesn't have a fucking clue how to do this anymore. They are playing off the fact that the UFC made Ronda Rousey a global star. You could try to argue with me, you're gonna lose. Because if Ronda Rousey is not in this match, it is not main eventing WrestleMania, which means all that gibberish that Triple H wanted to spit to you is a pile of shit. Ronda Rousey's not in the match, it's not the main event. The main event that I wanted to see was the hot, super over, biggest star in wrestling at the time, which she's not now, Becky Lynch, in a one-on-one match versus Ronda Rousey, for the reason why you had the hottest star in wrestling versus the biggest global star. Ronda Rousey is the biggest global star they have right now. She's bigger than Brock. She's the reason why it's the main event. She's not in it, it's not the main event. So don't give me this, given, not earned, and blah, blah, blah. Ronda Rousey earned it before she got to the WWE. She main evented how many pay-per-views for the UFC? Lots. And if you think I'm wrong about this, go look at what Ronda Rousey made in losing her last two fights for the UFC, main eventing pay-per-views, losing her last two fights, and what the women who beat her made. Apples and oranges. Okay? It was red panty night for Ronda Rousey, not for those other women. It's not. Amanda Nunes, after starching and murking Ronda Rousey, probably didn't even make as much money as the car is sold for that Ronda Rousey drove to the fucking arena in. And if you think I'm kidding about it, look it up. You're talking about 6 figures to like 8 figures. Give or take. Okay? So without Ronda Rousey, this is not main eventing WrestleMania. Having said that, as a wrestling fan watching wrestling, booking wrestling, it shouldn't be the main event. When you want to get into the political aspects of it and the fact that Ronda Rousey is probably their biggest star, maybe it's Reigns, maybe you could say Lesnar. I mean, those are the only guys even close. John Cena is not a part of this WrestleMania, so we can't put him in that category. Okay, I can live with it. But I think there's another reason why it's main eventing and why it's going last. And I think people have brought this up in different avenues at different times when talking about the length of WrestleMania and how many matches there are. I have a sneaking suspicion, and I've sat through 6-7 hour shows and been there, and it's not easy. It's not easy to keep you want to mark out for everything. It sometimes is just not in you. You're zapped. I've sat through tremendous matches and come back. I'll give you a perfect example. I'll give you a WWE example. Undertaker versus CM Punk. Followed by Brock Lesnar and Triple H. It took about 75% of the Triple H versus Lesnar match for the crowd to get back after CM Punk and Undertaker. And I was in the arena. I could give you a million indie examples. We won't even go there. I think they know this. I think they look back at 32 when Roman Reigns beat Triple H. The crowd was zapped. They weren't into the main event anyway. They didn't want that to be the main event anyway. And it went over okay. There was other spots in the show that got much bigger emotions. And I think there's not many great spots on this show yet. Maybe you get some good matches that kind of suck you in. Kofi versus DB, we'll see. I think they know this. I think they're preparing for this. And I think they know that the fan base isn't as into this women's stuff as they thought way back at the Royal Rumble, which it feels like 10 years ago now. It really does. It feels like it's been forever. And even though you had these two, filler pay-per-views in between, which is ridiculous, which makes the stories even harder to tell. They cut their nose off to spite their face with this shit. My point being is, I think they're smart enough. I'm shocked that I'm saying this, but I somewhat believe it. And if you don't agree with me, put it in the comments. No, I'm kidding. If you don't agree with me and have my number, text me or tweet me, or we could do a show. We could talk about it. I think they know this. I think they know the crowd's going to be zapped. I think they know it's going to be 12:30 at night. I think they know that there's going to be a portion of the people watching who might have already went to bed or aren't watching anymore. And I think they think that part of this match is going to go over like a fart in church. And that's why it's going to go last. They can make their political statement. They could say, hey, look at us. We're putting the women last. Ha, ha, ha. We're doing it. Blah, blah, blah. Ha, ha, ha. We're putting the women last. They're on ESPN, even though 95% of the people watching on ESPN are going to watch WrestleMania anyway. But, hey, we're doing it. And even if they watch WrestleMania, they're not watching after. But, hey, look at us. We got Ronda Rousey. We're putting it on last. That's their end game here. That's what they care about. They got the publicity they wanted. But for the hardcore wrestling fan, they know that some of you, or a majority of you, or even a portion of your casuals, are going to be checked out anyway. So let's just put it on, and if it goes over like a fart in church, it goes over like a fart in church. So when Becky Lynch is standing in the middle of that ring with 2 title belts as the double champ, and she pays homage to Conor McGregor or whatever else she tries to do to get over after she beats Charlotte Flair, not Ronda Rousey, and it goes over like a fart in church, nobody's going to care. That's where I'm at with it. And I don't think they care either, because I think they know that you're not going to care. And I think they know that you're going to be zapped. And I think they know. Edwards and Stames talked about on their show. How many people do you think are going to leave before that match starts? If we're smart enough to think about it, maybe Dewey. Maybe Dana Warrior thought about it. Maybe Stephanie thought about it. How about that? What if it was Stephanie? The advocate for the women. Imagine that. Put the women on last because they're not going to give a fuck anyway. A lot of things can be said in a boardroom that we don't know about. I think I'm onto something there. I really do. But if you ask me what I think should happen, I think that match should be maybe 5 minutes. I think Ronda Rousey should beat the ever-loving shit out of both of them. Slam both titles in the middle of the mat and walk away till she decides she's coming back. And that's what I think should happen. We shall see. I'm the Captain of Chaos. This is Soldiers of Shoot. Please subscribe at AC Cooldown on Twitter, at Blading for Truth on Twitter, at DJ Stames on Twitter, at Steamtown Stunner with an A, not an R, for the Electric City Saint. Feel better, Bobby. Good night, everybody.
Soldiers of Shoot.